We're good to go? Okay, cool. Hey, you set this up quick, Bobby. That was good. We're speed recording today because we have a very special guest. It's not me. What a big hit, is on his way. And we're going to record that right after this. But I'm really excited about the special guest. But I also wanted to catch you guys up because this is episode 6 of Tess Talks 2.0. And dare I say, Bobby Jokes and I have possibly gotten our shit together, fallen into a groove. Like, I don't want to jinx it, but I think we're rocking and rolling now. So we're going to be consistent, stay on this schedule, and thank you for being patient with me. If I've frustrated you, well, you just get in line. A lot has happened since the last episode. So we recorded, I believe, right before I left for Thanksgiving. So I went down to Corpus for Thanksgiving. I flew in on a Tuesday night, which was lovely. Took that extra Wednesday day to just be with my family. I hadn't seen my niece in a really long time. It was very fun. She is very funny. She's very ornery. When I got there, I told my sister, how is she? And she says she got in trouble today. She bit another kid on the face. And we were like, don't be, like, you don't want a couple of things. You don't want your kid, your child, your niece, your nephew. You don't want them to be the smelly kid in school. You don't want them to be the bully kid. Absolutely not. And you don't want them to be the fucking bully. Like, oh my gosh. Like, so we were trying to tell her, she probably has a vocabulary list of about 20 words. She sings her ABCs. She's learning more and more every day. I know she understands it when I say, hey, you really shouldn't have bit your little friend. I know she understands me when I said that. And supposedly it's like a territorial thing, or sometimes they have so many emotions and they get overwhelmed. So they'll like they'll like bite you. Like it's overwhelming for them. So they bite something. And I do that with Travis now as an adult, but he's my significant other. He's not some stranger. It'd be like me going to the coffee shop and I'm like so overwhelmed. I'm so excited I'm about to get coffee and I just like bite someone. So she'll learn that. That'll come with time. It was so good to see family. This was the first Thanksgiving without my dad, so that was hard. But my brother's in a new house. So Barrera Street, which is the street I grew up in. Yes, I grew up on the street that is my last name as well. And I thought everybody did that. I thought if your last name Barbosa, I thought, oh, well, you live on Barbosa Street, Travis. Oh, you must live on Zimmerman Street. Okay. I thought that's the way it worked, but it's not. That was just a very fun coincidence. Not so much a coincidence. There's a little history there. My grandpa went down to the city to with his plot of land, and he needed to register his address, but there was no specific address assigned to that plot of land. And he went to, I think, City Hall, and the story somewhat that my aunt tells me goes that they said, well, that doesn't exist, because he was Mexican, and in Corpus Christi, where the white people lived and where the Mexican people lived, that was very different. And he goes, well, how do I get my address? They go, well, just, call it whatever. He's like, just name the street. And he was like, yeah. And so he named it Barrera Street. That is the lore. I have to double verify, check that with my Aunt Mary, but she's the smartest woman I know. So I'm pretty sure that checks out. So went down, was passing Barrera Street. My brother, again, has a new house. It was so nice because they had an extra room for me and Travis, and everything's brand new, and he's just so happy there. But it was very weird to not, that was the place I would go. When I would go to Corpus, that's the first place I would go. Go to my dad's house, I'd load him up. We'd either go get some coffee or something, or just hang out. He was always the first person I'd see. So it was weird. And I was like, damn, am I really going to go this whole trip without going to the Barrera house? Well, I think it was the next night after the turkey bowl. I think we had some wine, and my brother, because he is in a new house, he didn't have a wine opener. And he goes, just go to the Barrera house. There's one there. We still have the keys and everything to the house. And I go, okay, I'll go. And I went, and I went by myself, and I went into the house through the garage, and I freaking started crying. I immediately broke down. I was like, oh, there it is. Okay, there it is. But it was good. It was good to let it out, get the wine opener, kind of feel the feelings, and then, okay, and boom, I could get back on track. So that was pretty intense. That was an intense moment. Also, my mom is 6, 7. No, my mom is like sometimes on her best behavior and sometimes not. So I always, whenever it's a holiday, I'm like, is my mom going to make this about her in some way? Well, she did. She thought she was having a heart attack. I did have to take her to urgent care. She was not, in fact, having a heart attack. I think she was dying because sometimes she doesn't get the amount of attention she needs. So she was fine. Everything checked out. EKG was good. I can laugh in hindsight. But when my mom's telling me I feel like I'm having a heart attack, I can't be like, Cap, I think you're lying. I have to be the good daughter and drive her to the urgent care and make sure she's okay. And she's okay, guys. She's fine. She's doing great. Martha's great. We had a fun day. Martha and I had a fun day. The last day I was there, her friend's friend who owns an antique shop passed away. Very sad. Older lady, died of old age, but they were having an estate sale. So we went and I got all kinds of plates and new plates, bowls, everything for the apartment because I knew when we were coming back from Thanksgiving, we were going to host my friends here in this small apartment and I didn't want to do the reusable stuff. So I got this awesome set of plates. I got some cool champagne glasses, like a box of silverware. I got my brother's girlfriend a tea set. My mom got some stuff. It was all like $45. So I love a good estate sale. And then Thanksgiving was great. We had it catered. It was wonderful. We went to George's property in Refugio, which when we go, we know it's going to be like half fun, like shooting guns, drinking beer, but it's also like, okay, what is he going to make us do now? We put together a cabinet. There's finally some plumbing out there. There's running water. So it's really, really coming along. Very proud of my brother for that. When we came back to Corpus, when we came back to Houston, it was like, okay, get back on the workout plan, do all the things. And yeah, we've been vibing. We've been working really, really hard. So before I even left to Corpus, I did the Rockets turkey giveaway. 50 Cent was supposed to be there, but he didn't get there till late. So I was able to do the story. I was able to talk to Calvin Murphy, who is a Rockets Hall of Famer. He is great. He's fantastic. That was really fun. But I really have been wanting to talk to 50 Cent because of all the press he's been getting lately because of this Diddy documentary. We have watched a couple of episodes. I do this thing where I fall asleep earlier some nights and like I don't really, like if I'm not going to make Travis rewatch what I missed because I fell asleep. So I've like off and on watched some of the Diddy documentary. It is crazy. He is like a heinous monster and he for sure killed Biggie and Tupac and like celebrated on Biggie's birthday. He is wild. I mean, he deserves way more jail time. He like needs to be locked up. That I'm sticking by that. Also, for the turkey bowl, our team won. My family does a turkey bowl every year. Travis and I's team won. I didn't get the ball that much, so I don't know. I feel fine about the victory, whatever. And we did go to a bar to celebrate afterwards. That was fun. I guess the star of my Thanksgiving was this pecan pie from the Houstonian, from the Tribute restaurant. It was amazing. That was the star of all the desserts. The pecan pie from Tribute at the Houstonian is nails, nails, nails. So that was good. That was good. When I got back, Houston Life, we had to decorate the studio. And guys, like I love Christmas, but the decorating is a pain in the ass. It is an actual pain in the ass. Anyone who takes the time to beautify their house with Christmas ornaments and decorations, God bless you, because you're an angel on this earth. A really fun Christmas thing that I've already gotten to do was I did a shoot at Sugarland at Constellation Field. They do the holiday lights, and that was really fun. I met Garrett Green, who is the voice of the Space Cowboys. Did you guys hear that the Space Cowboys and the Hooks and one more team, minor league team, the Astros sold them. The Astros sold those teams. They're still going to be affiliated like minor league wise, but they're no longer under the ownership of the Astros, which is interesting because I used to work for the Hooks. And I mean, minor league baseball is very fun. It's a way to have baseball for the whole family that's not going to cost you like an arm and a leg. Sugarland holiday lights, highly recommend. They like deck out the whole stadium, all of Constellation Field. Santa's there, hot chocolate, s'mores, carnival. If you're looking for something to do between now and like New Year's Eve, because y'all's kids are about to be off for like 2.5 weeks. I don't know how y'all do that, but there are many places that you can take them here in Houston that are so fun. How do I know that, you ask? Tessa, you don't have any kids. How do you know that? Well, you know what? I hosted the KPRC2 Holiday Lights Spectacular with Derek Shore live from Moody Gardens. And we went through all of these places that you can go. Zoo Lights, Moody Gardens, Constellation Field, everywhere. Everywhere's got some fun holiday stuff going on. In fact, over here, Market Square Park, they have a cute H-Town holiday lights display. So really, really fun stuff there. Also, when we got back, it was time to host. I am so much better at attending parties than throwing them. I am so much better. I'll be a fun guest. I'll be enthusiastic. I'll help you clean up. But damn, hosting is a biatch. But I did it because I love my new place and I wanted my girlfriends to see it and I wanted to share this space with them. So here's a really, really fun hack. Fridays at Whole Foods. At Whole Foods, you can go in on a Friday and you can get Blue Point oysters and most species of oysters for $1. For $1. They will shuck them for you. They will open them up right there for you, and they're $1 each, okay? Be the cheapest oysters you ever eaten, most delicious, fresh. And so for the party, we got 5 dozen oysters. We didn't get them shucked. 1, because we didn't want the guy to hate us forever. 2, Travis has learned how to shuck oysters. That is right. My man can shuck a fresh oyster. And he says the hardest part is finding the oyster's little butthole. And that's what he was saying when he was shucking them live for all of our friends. Okay, so we did oysters. We did a couple of bottles of moderately priced champagne. I didn't love the champagne we got, but as long as you make it really, really cold, it checks out. Like, we were able to keep the party flowing. So oysters and champagne, spoiled our friends, did a white elephant, very fun. Highly, highly, highly recommend you guys take advantage of that $1 oyster deal at Whole Foods because that is awesome. Also, my work got me a consultation with her name's Natalie Weekly. She's a fashion consultant. And what she does is basically comes to your home, goes through your closet, looks at your face shape, your tone, your hair color, and she tells you what colors look best on you, what works for you, what doesn't. They went through my closet. I don't even have a big closet as it is. They got rid of half of my clothes. So when I hosted my friends, I was like, do you guys want these clothes? And they were like, are you dying? Why are you giving us all these clothes? I'm like, because according to my consultant, they do nothing for me. And she's right. She's right because ever since she's been dressing me, I've been getting a ton of compliments at work. I feel like I'm putting my best fashion foot forward and work's paying for it. So I'm glad to get that advice. I would give the gift of consulting to someone. It isn't cheap, but to have someone go in and look at your wardrobe and say, this looks best on you. These are your best colors. This is your face shape. These are the glasses you should be wearing. This is all. It's like, yeah, let someone who's good at that do that for you. You know, especially when you get to a level of me, I've been on TV for some time now. I need to make sure my fashion's up to par. I don't want a viewer calling in and be like, Tessa fucking looks like a dog today. And they do, and they'll probably do that anyway, even if I'm looking great. It's a reflection of them, not me. But I don't need to give them any extra reasons. So that's been great. And then Travis also recently purchased a suit, and I took what I had learned with the consulting of the draping of the colors, seeing what works with him. You can kind of pick up your own fashion sense. When she asked me who my style icons were, I was thinking, and I'm like, who are my fashion icons? It's Regina George from Mean Girls, who always looked beautiful, but had a tad bit of don't fuck with me. Don't you fuck with me in her style. That's who I like. So that was very funny to Natalie. But she says I have a fun energy and that she loves working with me because everyone else is trying to take themselves way too seriously. And I'm not. So dare I say I'm Natalie's favorite client? I mean, probably not, but I feel like I am. So that's fine. Okay, after the party, and here was the thing. The party started at 11. And I love my girlfriends, and I'm like, I really wish you guys would all get the hell out by 6 p.m., okay? I think they stayed a little later. I think we stayed up a little later because there was also UFC fights that night, and one of our neighbors had invited us. So we ended up staying up a little bit later than we should have, but we had a tea time at Pearland, at Golf Crest Country Club in Pearland, which Travis grew up in Pearland. He had never been to that country club. It's super swanky, super nice. Our friends, Denise and Butch Daly, invited us. we met them at a 1 goal party. Here's the connection, okay? You know, I am a co-host with Derek Shore. Derek Shore's other half is Brandon. Brandon Borg. And Brandon works for 1 goal. The CEO of 1 goal is Alex. Alex's parents are Denise and Butch. That's who me and Travis made friends with. I knew I liked Denise because I had met her a while back at a rodeo concert. But we sat with her again and we were talking about golf. Golf came up and they were like, well, if you ever want to come out, it's a golf course. And we were like, we want to come out. 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 And we went out. And, you know, Travis and I are used to booking tee times at like public courses. So at a country club, we pull up and we're like, well, where do we buy like the bucket of balls? And they're like, you don't buy the bucket of balls. They're just there. You don't buy, you know, your Celsius and your snacks or whatever from there. It's just there, okay? It's included in our friends' membership. So we're very grateful to Butch and Denise for showing us how the other half live. And it was just really fun. It was a beautiful, beautiful course. And then to add a little cherry on top, they are season ticket holders at the Cougs, the men's Cougs basketball games, okay? The Cougs are, I think they're ranked like 7th. And they were playing Jackson State, a Mississippi team who they were obviously going to blow out. And they were like, look, do you want tickets to this game? We're probably not going to go. Butch is going hunting. Denise had something better to do. And they were like, do you want these tickets? Travis had never seen a game in the Fertitta Center. I've seen a couple. So we were like, of course we want them. When I tell you they had the parking pass in the tan lot. The tan lot is like 100 steps, not even 100 steps, like 50 feet from the Fertitta Center where you're like in already. So the best parking. And then their seats were like the 3rd row on the visitor side. So when I tell you we had a little blasty blast, the Cougs blew them out by 1,000,000. Travis saw his girlfriend, Sasha, the Cougar mascot, who is actually very lovely and very fun. We had a great time. And then who do we see hosting the event? Hosting the, like the in-game arena host. Well, I would tell you, but then I would give away who our next podcast guest is. So anyway, Suits for Trav. I did a really cool story on 44 Farms. 44 Farms is a cattle company, and they sell like fresh, no preservatives, like no hormones, no antibodies, fresh beef. They do like steaks and stuff like that. So they have a great deal going on through Christmas. If you use code Houston Life, I think you get like 20% off. So there's another hack for the holidays, guys. The owner or the representative, I think he was like the COO. He was telling me that families will buy that huge pack that comes with like all these steaks, all this ground beef, all this like meat. And that's like, they don't get their product from the grocery store anymore. We got to be really mindful of what people are calling food here in the United States these days. Okay. I'm just going to say that. So 44 Farms, definitely somewhere to check out. An example of a business that not only supports local farmers, but is doing it right, like cares about their customer. Like, I think that's the way of the future, is like going like farmer straight to customer, because whoever this middle gray area is, they definitely do not have our pocketbooks or our best interest at heart. So I'll just say that. Talked about U of H. There was a Wienermobile parked like right down here in the parking garage. And it was on a night where Travis and I could not have been having a more serious conversation. I don't often admit when I am wrong about something. And I think in that moment, I was like, you know what? You're right. You're right, Travis. I shouldn't have done this. I'm going to work on this. I mean, there might as well have been raining pigs flying around here, okay? Because I never really admit when I'm wrong. And he looks at me and he goes, babe, I love what you're saying. And I like don't want to get out of this moment. But is that the freaking Wienermobile like down the road? And it was. And we were like howling laughing, because what are the odds? See, this is why I don't always admit when I'm wrong, because no one takes me seriously anyway. let's talk about the Rockets a little bit more, because I think there's been some gatekeeping that has been going on at the Toyota Center. And when I tell you about this hack to enjoy the game, you can just thank me. You can send me a gift. You can Venmo me. You can tell me how amazing I am. Did you know that you can buy the cheapest ticket at the Rockets game, whatever it takes to get in the door, nosebleeds, get them, buy them, whatever. The ticket gets you in the game. Before you go to the game, though, go to opentable.com, look up Sire Spirits Social Club in the Toyota Center. The ticket gets you in the door. You make a reservation at Sire. It is in the most swanky, sweet. It's on the suite level. This restaurant. You pay $59 per person, which is what you were going to spend anyway on your drink, on your hot dog, on your beer. You were going to spend that anyway. All you can eat buffet. Get lower ledge. You are literally looking down on the court and looking down at everyone. You are in the nicest spot. There's a full bar up there. Sire Spirits Social Club at the Rockets game. I saw a lady in there who watches Houston Live. She goes, hey, what are you doing in here? And I said, oh, the Rockets invited us to be their guests. We sat at Tillman Fertitta's table. We sat at the owner's table, which I don't know if you can reserve that on Open Table. I don't think so. We definitely sat there. I don't know if you can book that. And I said, this is what we're doing. They wanted us to learn. She goes, oh, no, please don't tell people about this. And I said, I have to. I have to. This place should be sold out every single game. It is incredible. The food is a rotating food menu. We talked to the head chef. We had a server who was lovely to us. I embarrassed myself a couple of times, okay? And I'll tell you how. I was talking to the GM there. God bless him. I don't remember his name right now. I will think of it as soon as the podcast ends. And I was asking him, is there a wait list? I meant to say, is there a wait list? And I said, is there a weight limit? Can you be big and come eat this buffet? Okay, embarrassing. I don't know how anyone is friends with me. The other thing I did was after the night was over and they had wined and dined us, we had all the food, all the drinks, everything. They told us all about the club. I texted Ryan Stevens, who is the marketing, media, communications liaison for the Rockets, the one who set up the whole thing. And I go, can't wait to tell everyone about Spire Club. That's not the name of the place. It's Sire Spirit Social Club. But I'm really glad I embarrassed myself. Between that and meeting the COO of the Rockets, I can get in the door, but will I ever get back in the door? That's to be determined, and the answer is probably not. But that's okay. It's okay to be embarrassing sometimes. We all have cringe moments. I'm going to think about that until the day I die. So there we go. God, we got that out of the way. Also, it was Clippers versus Rockets, and the Rockets won. And they almost lost to James Harden and Kawhi. Who else is on the Clippers, babe? Chris Paul? No, I don't know. Chris Paul used to be on the Clippers. I don't know. We almost lost. We didn't. It was fantastic. Great night. Once we were done with the club, we did have actually pretty good seats, and we went, and there was the 2 rows in front of us was a whole family. They were all together. There were 3 babies. A holy trinity of Rockets babies. I was like, am I ovulating? Do I have baby fever? Look at these cute little babies all around us having fun. And it was the 4th quarter. If you take a baby to a sporting event, I think you have a first half situation. You got to pick, right? You got to pick and then you got to get home. Not these babies. These babies were with their whole family, loved it. I was like, this family is rich, not because there's money in the Rockets. This family is all here, all out, all together. There were, babies, there were kids, there were young moms, older moms, grandpas, uncles, dads, mom. It was just so awesome. It was just so awesome to see. And did I mention we won? So that was why it was great. Okay. We also had another golf situation. We went to the American Public Works Association golf tournament. I actually took off Friday to go. I was going to call in sick. Your girl has 7 sick days, okay? I've not called in once. And I said, you know what? I think I'm going to start feeling a little sick. But then my boss, Dawn, was like, hey, you still have a personal day. And I go, you know what, Dawn? I just to be honest with you, can I have Friday off? Like, I probably was going to call in anyway. And this at least lets everyone know. These are the types of conversations I have in my head. And I think you're probably going to play bad golf. If you go out there and you're lying to your peers and to your coworkers, and they think you're, sick, they're all worried about you, but you're out here golfing, that's not good. I can't, I can't live with that guilt. I would not have a good day. I would be stressed out. I wouldn't be able to have fun at all. So, took the day. Our friend Justin Parker, who was a former Rod Ryan Show listener, still a Rod Ryan Show listener. Sorry, I'm the former Rod Ryan Show person. Used to listen to me on the Buzz. He's the one who actually gave me my first golf lesson, and he invited Trav and I to play out. So we played with him and Shashi, who is a member of the Quail Valley Golf Course in Missouri City. Awesome course. Lots of water. Lost 6 brand new, beautiful pink golf balls. Just right into the water. But it was a fun tournament. Also, the day before that, I had done a Hot Wheels Monster Trucks live shot, and that was really fun. So Hot Wheels and the 50th anniversary of Bigfoot, the car, I guess Lenny was really familiar with that. I wasn't, but the Hot Wheels is a really hot ticket for a lot of these nephews and sons and little boys and little girls too. It's just a really fun. They do a glow in the dark motocross situation. So that's a good thing to get out to. Lots of core memories to be made. Not my scene, obviously, but I know a lot of us have little kids that we can always make a memory with. Okay. I wanted to talk about the Michigan football coach getting fired because he was sleeping with a staff member. This is a tale as old as time. It happens more often than I am pleased with, but he also kind of went AWOL. He had showed up at the girl's apartment. He was threatening to unalive himself. And the top comment on a video that I saw was lack of self-discipline is expensive. Because think about it, he goes from coaching one of the best football programs in the country. He has a beautiful wife. I think he has 3 kids. That's heartbreaking to okay, no job, maybe gonna be a felon now, have a felony on his record. And it's just I'm itchy. Oh, wait. Ow, okay. It's super unfortunate. It can be unfortunate and I can have an itch. Those things can be true while I'm talking, right? Okay. My restaurant recommendation, in addition to the Sire Spirit Social Club, is Cooking Girl. Cooking Girl has 3 locations. I think one in Sugarland, one in Montrose, and then we went to the one downtown. It was so good. It's Szechuan style Chinese food. Delicious. We got the red dumplings. We got the walnut shrimp. That was probably the best thing on the menu that we had. We had the honey duck, which is roasted and crisped up. That is my food recommendation right now. And I'm not a foodie. I'm not an influencer, but I am a foodie. Your girl does love to eat. Then I see a TikTok. You know how much I love food. Then I see a TikTok that pops up on my page, and it's the eldest daughter who was lacking love can often use food as emotional support or something like that. And I'm geez, my For You page calling me out so badly. But I do need to work on this relationship I have with food, because sometimes if I feel I'm not going to get a good meal, I will cry. I will actually cry. It really does mean a lot to me to have a good meal. So working on that, maybe see a therapist. We'll see. Talked about the Michigan football coach. What else? Oh, you guys really need to put some respect on Robin's name. Robin is a Peloton coach. We do the Peloton mirror workouts. 2 favorites have emerged. Callie, who is this cute, blonde, tall, former ballerina trainer who all of her playlists are Taylor Swift. And then you have Robin, who is making you curl 25 dumbbells and telling you basically you're a bitch and can't do 10 strict tricep push-ups. I love both of them. And I feel I kind of am both. They're my little workout buddies. They don't even know who I am, but I'm obsessed with them. So that's been really fun. The Texans beat, who did they beat last? Oh, they beat the Chiefs. Oh my God. Okay. Texans beat the Chiefs last. There was a viral moment where CJ Stroud left owner Cal McNair hanging. They made a big, TikTok about it. It went completely viral. ESPN retweeted it, and it was a really fun game. We are going to be at the Texans versus Cardinals game tomorrow. Also, who is the in-game arena host of the Texans? Oh, could that be our next podcast guest? Maybe so. Maybe I'm giving you a big hint before I get out of here. Okay. What do I have here? It says 10 point something. I have no idea what that note means. Okay. This is the time in the show where we remind you that Barrera Law is our wonderful sponsor. Their Houston number is 281-845-2723. We're so grateful for Barrera Law, not only supporting my dreams of having a podcast, but also just being there when we need them most. If you guys get into an accident, you get into a situation where you need some legal advice, jbarreralaw.com is a website to check out, and 281-845-2723 is the number you call. And tell them Tessa sent you, because I feel like we could get some more episodes the more we call. I feel like those two things are definitely connected. That's how a sponsorship works, guys. All right, B-Jokes, is there anything else? How much time are we at? We're at 30 minutes. This is your full episode 6 podcast. I hope I gave you some good hacks. Didn't do a lot of story time, but I think there was a lot of significant events that happened this past week, and it just all flew by. The holidays are flying by. Before we know it, we're going to be saying Happy New Year. So I have some big New Year's news as well. I cannot share it yet, but that's what will hopefully keep you listening and subscribing. And if you can leave a nice note, that would be great too. Okay, we're going to wait for our next podcast guest and call this one a day, B-Jokes.